All right, peace and blessings, everybody. It's Tuesday, May the 22nd, the year 2018. Here's Gary Northington. He's been in prison 31 years. He's got a release date of life unless he's paroled. He's been through absolute hell. If you read some of his medical conditions, he wrote an email that was just absolutely full of medical abuse and withholding of medical treatment. And not only that, but he believes that somebody actually targeted him, I believe, with Lyme disease, with one of those ticks. You have to read the letter. Anyway, here's the deal. I'm getting like letters from him pretty regularly on jpay.com, as you can tell. I got one on the 2nd of May, the 5th of May, another one on the 5th of May, the 11th of May, 16th of May, 17th of May. So I'm gathering all these letters. He's written some incredible letters. Some of them has to do with comparing the federal, excuse me, comparing the Federal Reserve to the Wizard of Oz. He's also talked about MK Ultra. He's talked about corruption that he witnessed as he was in the military. He's talked about kidnapping of children and satanic ritual abuse and sexual molestation of children by the Satanist. So I've created a Dropbox, and I'm starting to put all of these emails from Gary Northington in this Dropbox, but I haven't titled them properly. I just put the date and Gary, like this one. You guys see that? I just put May the 2nd, more emails from Gary. I haven't actually had a chance to title these emails properly, and I need some help. I want to read to you guys this article so we can learn a little bit more about Gary, but I can tell you that Officer Jack McLam was advocating for Gary Northington when Jack McLam was alive. I would like, here, if you go to list of other prisoners, you're going to see Gary Michael Northington with his address. There was an article written about by him about child auctions. And then you can click on the Dropbox and you can see all of these emails that I've collected from him. It's getting to be quite a large number. I would like to create a Gary Northington page all by himself, just like we have a page for Jeffrey and Russell. You know, we have a whole page just for Russell, right? But I would like to create a page for Gary Northington because I believe he's a very strong Christian man. I believe that he is a political prisoner. And the challenge is I need somebody to read all of his emails and put proper titles on them. So when I categorize them, you know, this will be the email about Wizard of Oz. This is the email about his medical abuse. This is the email about MK Ultra. This is the email about child molestation by Satanists. I mean, if somebody has the time, I could give you access to this Dropbox and you could simply download. I could even give you access to edit, and you could just rename the files. That's really all I need, is somebody to go through all these files and rename them so that they reflect properly what he wrote about. But let's read this article on Gary Northington. It says, in 1968 to 1972, I was in the U.S. Air Force. I worked on airborne launch control centers for nuclear missiles and reconnaissance aircraft watching the USSR and China. I was honorably discharged. From 1972 to 1977, I worked in government contracts in high security areas, including Offutt AFB, where I was once stationed. I also subcontracted to covert government activities, CIA. Offutt had a treatment center for MK Ultra mind control, and I met Monarch mind slaves. I specialized in electronic security, surveillance, and countermeasures. I met society members who I later learned used the MK Ultra treatment center at Offutt to program inducted adults and donated or kidnapped children. Some society members I met are mentioned in the Franklin cover-up written by John DeCamp. In 1976, Larry King said he intended to have politicians in his pocket all the way to the White House. They controlled They controlled politicians by getting them involved in illicit sex and drugs with the MK Ultra children. I became privy to child auctions and events where I learned the society's secrets. Problem began when I reported the society's illegal activities to the Omaha police. I didn't know the chief of police was a member. The police then tried to create false criminal charges by planting illegal drugs, sent a burglar to shoot me in my home. He didn't expect me to have a gun, and used other like tactics. For the safety of my family, I left Omaha in 1977. In 1986, I witnessed the chief prosecutor of Monroe County, Michigan, William D. Fry, accept illegal money to protect a man from homicide prosecution after the man put a bullet in someone's head. Mr. Fry described buying county judges. If I go into chambers before court, the judge will do as I ask. In 1987, I went against Fry in a civil case. Fry used his public office for investigating personal matters of myself and let the society know where I lived. Two society people surprised me at Toledo, Ohio grocery store on January the 9th, 1987. A police informant, Tim Baker, had been bugging me for months to do electrical repairs for him and pushed repeatedly to help me with private investigation. Later in the month, Prosecutor Fry charged me with conspiracy to commit murder. The conspiracy was when the informant unexpectedly came to me in a restaurant and acted strangely while whispering to himself, and I said, "What did you say? I can't understand a word you're saying." In October 1987, I was sentenced to life imprisonment for something never said nor done. The prosecutor and judges refused to provide tape recordings, which would prove me totally innocent. There were 2 attempts to murder me before arrest in January 1987 and 3 attempts to murder me in prison. In August 2002, there were 2 attempts to murder Abby Newman and 1 attempt to kidnap her after she put political corruption of the prosecution and my innocence on national radio. There were 2 attempts to murder my brother, of which the second was the same method and at the same time as the second attempt to murder Abby. I wonder if Abby Newman and Gary Northington's brother are still alive. In 2003 and 2004, the public office mafias of Monroe County, Michigan, and Franklin County, Virginia, joined to drive Abby from her Virginia home, intimidate her by physical force, and confiscate almost all she owned. They rendered her homeless. In April 2004, Abby was terminated from her job, allegedly for political views, which she never stated at work. Michigan Governor Granholm was informed of all of the above, but refuses to release me, and the judges on the case refuse to follow the law. This is to fulfill a political agenda because I am a whistleblower on public corruption. I refuse to bend to evil. People with murder cases often get a shorter sentence than what I have had. I have written 8 songs and 4 books that are Christ-based in hope of supporting my wife Abby. I hope to publish them. Also, if anyone knows where we can buy 7 to 10 acres at low cost in southern West Virginia, please write us. Abby is living in a truck and hopes to soon find a job that doesn't require a number of the beast. The last 17 years have been a struggle, but I am able to persevere against a Satanist who unsuccessfully attempted to bury me in silence. My faith in Yahweh and His Son, along with the love and prayers of true Christians, like and including my friends that aid and abet, have kept me. God bless you all. Jeremiah 17:5, Acts 5:29. We will not quit. Sincerely, your brother in Christ, Gary M. Northington. His prison number is 193035. Ann Arbor Shelter is a website for the homeless. So he thinks he's going to get out of prison and be homeless. And he also wrote me about this whalliance.org, which appears to be another homeless website. I need to write him and ask him if his wife or his brother is still alive. All right. Thank you for your time. And if you want to help me with Gary Northington and kind of organize some of his emails, let me know and I'll send you an email and we can work together to build a Gary Northington page. Thank you for your time.